Good evening. Welcome, everyone. We'll call the meeting to order. This is the Marion City Council regular meeting for December 8th, 2016. We will do the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Draper.
Here.
Ms. Hetzel. Banks. Mayor Abou-Osley.
Here.
Mr. Brandt.
Here.
Mr. Nicholson.
Here.
Ms. Pazor.
Here.
Thank you. At this time, we will have our moment of silence. Thank you. Okay, today we have oath of office for two individuals. The first is for the Ward 4 council member joining us for this election year, Dave Nicholson, and then following that will be the Marion firefighters James Romer and William Zemasto. Did I say that correctly? Yep. Okay. Oh, and Cody Oberfeld. Three of them. Okay. 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 Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Dave Nicholson, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Iowa and the ordinances of the City of Marion, Iowa, and that I will faithfully and impartially, to the best of my ability, discharge all the duties of the office of Council Member, Ward 4. In the City of Marion, Iowa. As now or hereafter required by law. Congratulations.
Thank you.
There's some things we want to talk to him about now that he's sworn in.
Okay, will the new firefighters come forward, please?
He's wearing his name down.
So,
I'm James.
You're James?
Yep.
Will?
Cody.
Nice to meet you. Welcome. Thank you. Okay. You guys ready? Raise your right hand. Do you have family members you want to come up with you, or anybody?
Is that common?
They can. They're welcome to come up and be here with you if you'd like them to. So, okay. Repeat after me, and I, and say your name.
I, James Cody,
as a firefighter, paramedic of Marion, Iowa.
As a firefighter, paramedic of Marion, Iowa.
Swear that I will support. The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the State of Iowa.
The Constitution of the State of Iowa.
And the ordinances of the City of Marion, Iowa.
And the ordinances of the City of Marion, Iowa.
I will serve the City of Marion and its fire department.
I will serve the City of Marion and its fire department.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
With honor and respect.
With honor and respect.
and in adherence to the ethics of the fire service. These things I solemnly and freely swear upon my honor. Solemnly and freely swear upon my honor. There you go. All right, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Do we get to shake their hand? I mean, welcome, Barb.
Yeah, William Zamisto. Are you from Palo?
No, Fairfax.
Oh, okay, so Steve is no relation.
Not that I know. Do you remember if you know any Stevie? Not first cousin.
Okay, we were cops together in Palo.
Well, welcome to all of you. Thank you. Okay, at this time we have citizen presentations or comments. Is there anyone who would like to address the council on any topic? Please raise your hand and come forward. None? Okay. Moving forward then to the consent calendar.
Any items removed?
None.
Okay, Your Honor, I move to approve the consent calendar as presented. And this includes resolutions 25705 up to and including 25717. And it is 1 through 23. And we should be out of here before 7 o'clock.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar as presented, including items 1 through 23 and resolutions numbers 25705 through 25717. Any discussion? None? All those in favor of the motion to approve the consent resolution as presented, or the consent calendar as presented, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes.
Yes, Your Honor, I may like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar with Mayor Abelasili abstaining the voting and discussion regarding the following items. I have items 24 through 28, a synopsis of which we have 2 liquor licenses, the Giving Tree Theater with no violations. We have the Hy-Vee Food Store liquor and wine license with no violations. We are approving Resolution 25718, providing L&L Pelling regarding the Lau Park parking lot. And that amount is $37,752.95. Resolution 25719, approving partial payment to Genesis Equity LLC per Resolution 25306 regarding Central Corridor Improvement Project in the amount of $120,565.61. We have Resolution 25720, which is a temporary construction easement for Hy-Vee Inc., and this is for the drugstore, listed as Hy-Vee Inc. We have a request from Morris Woods Enterprises for 2 building permits prior to approval of the final plat. And in addition to that, a final item is motion to receive and file a request for TIF assignment for GLD commercial.
It's TIF assistance.
Assistance, yes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the second part of the consent calendar. Any discussion?
Yes, Your Honor. For number 28, the request for TIF assistance, for what period of time would that be?
Their initial request is requesting some assistance for 15 years. That'll be part of the financial analysis that we do before our recommendation comes back to council.
So this
Okay,
is-
and
this is
they're
receive and
asking
file.
for the four buildings is the 23% of the total amount, correct?
Mhm.
Well, you know, this is all taking money out of the hands of the Marion Independent School District, and I think 15 years is a long time.
Yeah, that's what they've requested. It doesn't necessarily mean what will be coming back to the council for approval until we have a chance to really dig into the financials that they've presented. The whole idea behind the TIF policy is to make sure that the incentive is right-sized for the project.
And is there a name that would be in charge of the main building on this project? It was not Marriott mentioned?
It's a Town Place Suites by Marriott. So it's underneath the Marriott brand, but the specific hotel flag is Town Place Suites.
Okay, which I think certainly helps a lot as far as getting customers. Of course, with the city council getting a decreased amount of,
You do have to be careful with that because it might be an increased amount.
oh, ooh, well, as long as it doesn't exceed $3, I guess it's okay.
Any other discussion?
I have one question. Mike, when is the parking lot going to be open at Lau?
Not until next spring.
In the spring? Oh, okay.
We still have improvements with signage to do out there, and we need to do final seeding to open it yet this winter. My fear is that we'd have people driving off the parking lot into the grass areas, and with those conditions out there, they could ruin a lot of the property and the work that's been done to date. And also the lighting portion of the project that has not been started yet. There's a possibility that they might start working on that over the winter months, but we don't have any lighting out there associated with the roadway going in or the parking lots yet either.
Right. Thanks.
Okay, other discussion or questions? None. All those in favor of the motion to approve the second part of the consent calendar, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. And abstaining. Thank you.
Okay, yes, Your Honor, this is ordinance number 16-17, amending chapter 63 of the Code of Ordinances, establishing the speed limit on Tower Terrace Road from the west city limits to the east city limits as 35 miles per hour, except for that area from 10th Street to 1,000 feet east, which shall be 25 miles per hour when children are present. Remove code section 5V, second consideration.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 16-17, amending chapter 63 of the Code of Ordinances, establishing the speed limit on Tower Terrace Road from the west city limits to the east city limits as 35 miles per hour, except for that area from 10th Street to 1,000 feet east, which shall be 25 miles per hour when children are present. Discussion? Okay. All those in favor of ordinance number 16-17 signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I would move that we suspend the rules and go to the third reading on this issue, third and final, in lieu of safety in that area. I think it's important.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded to suspend the rules and move the final consideration of this ordinance, 16-17. All those in favor of suspending rules and approving the final consideration, please signify. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any discussion on? Okay.
We all have to vote yes, because it requires a 6 vote on a suspension of rules.
All those in favor of suspending the rules and approving final consideration of ordinance 16-17 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes. Mr. Grant?
Did we just suspend the rules, or did we actually?
Oh,
You want me to read it, or?
No, he placed it under for final consideration, so you
Yeah.
don't have to go
So
through
that
it.
wasn't just suspending the rules, that
No,
was actually.
it was,
All right.
it was a combination.
On to the next one. Yes. I make a motion to approve ordinance number 16-18, amending Chapter 63 of the Code of Ordinances, establishing the speed limit on 7th Avenue from Marion Boulevard to 250 feet west of 6th Street as 35 miles per hour, removing Code Section 5B, initial consideration.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 16-18, amending Chapter 63 of the Code of Ordinances, establishing the speed limit on 7th Avenue from Marion Boulevard to 250 feet west of 6th Street as 35 miles per hour. Discussion?
Yes, Your Honor, I think in order to not confuse things, that a remaining amount of 7th Avenue, which is included right now in the 35, will go to 20 because it's an extension of the uptown speed limit.
As a natural part of this ordinance passing, it would go to 20.
Right,
You're saying?
but it's not, it doesn't specify that, and I think
Right.
it's confusing.
I agree, but that's what will happen, right? Okay. Everybody understands how this works. Okay. Other discussion? All those in favor of ordinance number 16-18, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I'd like to have us consider suspending the rules and waiving the second consideration and going to the final consideration for safety reasons in this area with the weather coming on as it is. And it's my understanding that we've not had any complaints concerning this issue.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to suspend the rules and move towards second and third consideration.
Second and final, yes.
Final consideration of this ordinance 16-18. Any discussion? Does staff see any problem with that, or?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I think it's amazing,
Get it
since Councilman Draper's taken over my old seat, he's suspending all the rules. I think it's something in the
Must be
chair.
the
Sit in
territory.
that seat, that's what happens.
I hate to think what you're thinking down there.
Where's my vodka?
Okay.
Kim brings out the best in me up here.
Any discussion? All those in favor of suspending the rules and approving the second and final consideration of ordinance number 16-18, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution number 25721, approving the purchase agreement for property located at 637 16th Street in the amount of $94,500. Glenn Super is a deed holder, and Roy J. and Sandra Jordan is a contract holder.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25721, approving a purchase agreement for property located at 637 16th Street in the amount of $94,500. Discussion? None? Okay, all those in favor of resolution number 25721, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, although I am planning to vote no on this next resolution, I will place it on for consideration, resolution 25722, approving a purchase agreement for property located at 1412 Fifth Avenue in the amount of $94,000, Andrew Gieselman.
Second?
Well, we need a motion, right? Don't we need a motion to?
Yeah, I moved to place it.
You're placing it.
Although I am going to
Okay.
vote no on it, I
Okay.
am moving
So we have
to
a
get it on.
motion
Second.
and a second to approve resolution number 25722. approving the purchase agreement for property located at 1412 Fifth Avenue in the amount of $94,000. Okay, discussion.
Yes, Your Honor. It's a railroad house, and unless, I still am totally against that location for a roundabout because it is the main roadway, 15th Street, to the high school, the middle school, Francis Marion, and Starry Elementary Schools. And I think it's a very inappropriate place to put a roundabout.
Other discussion? Okay. All those in favor of resolution number 25722, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No?
We have one no, and the motion passes.
Your Honor, I have Resolution 25,723, approving the purchase agreement for property located at 1480 Fifth Avenue in the amount of $92,000. James A. Dawson.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25723, approving a purchase agreement for property located at 1480 Fifth Avenue in the amount of $92,000. Discussion.
Your Honor, same argument.
Okay. Other discussion? All those in favor of resolution number 25723, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. No. One no. The motion passes.
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve resolution number 25724, approving Echo Ridge Estates First Edition Final Plat and Memorandum of Agreement for property located north of Echo Hill Road and west of Alburnett Road, Integrity Custom Homes.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25724, approving Echo Ridge Estates First Edition Final Plat and Memorandum of Agreement for property located north of Echo Hill Road and west of Alburnett Road. Discussion. All those in favor of resolution number 25724, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. And I'm abstaining on this one. Okay.
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve resolution number 25725 of intent directing staff to negotiate TIF agreement with GLD Commercial.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25725, a resolution of intent directing staff to negotiate a TIF agreement with GLD Commercial. Discussion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to really have a good discussion about this before it ends up on an agenda with approval, just because that time limit bothers me a lot. I mean, between 5 and 10 years is sufficient, but not 15. That's too much.
How would we handle that? Would we get a draft or something to?
Yeah, this
At
is
some
going to
point.
be, I mean, this is going to be a significant deal. I would anticipate the council will be brought up to speed on it as we go through the negotiations. And even just simply by virtue of the way the process works, you set a public hearing date a full month in advance of when you would be looking at doing any approvals on an agreement anyway. So there's a lot of time in there that we know how it's laid out before you ever actually have to take action on it. It has to go through the consultation session with the other taxing jurisdictions as well, so we get their feedback before the city council acts on it too.
Okay.
Is there, Lon, a possibility, there's always a possibility, that we could handle the TIF the way we handled it on the mall, where they would continue to pay the taxes that are now assessed on that property?
They're always going to be required to do that. The property never
that
goes
would
below.
solve Councilman Pazur's argument on the Marion Independent School District, though, because they would get their amount of money they're getting now.
Yeah, the property never goes below the base valuation that's established on there right now.
How it
In
always
addition,
works.
once we get through this a little bit further, Nick Glue over at Medco has actually developed a tool that he can use to show the immediate impact to all of the other taxing jurisdictions. Because much like the school, I mean, that's our general fund. That's a couple of the levies that the city has as well. But all that new development immediately generates new dollars for things like the exempted levies, the debt service levy. I think the school physical plant and equipment levy is exempted, so they get more money than they would get right away without development occurring. But he's actually got a spreadsheet that he's put together to calculate those numbers out to show it.
Okay.
Okay. Other discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor of resolution number 25725, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. And I'm abstaining on this one. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'd like to recommend approval of resolution number 25726, releasing real property from the development agreement with Fiber Right.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25726, releasing real property from the development agreement with Fiber Right. Discussion?
Well, now this opens up this property to be resold now, right? That was kind of promised to Fiber Right. I mean, they had the contract with it and the whole thing.
Yeah, it's we've got a sale going through on the western side of the property, and this showed up as a cloud on the title, and so by doing this, we'll clear that up so that it wouldn't show up on the title opinion for any future transactions. But yeah, we received it back, and it's been divided up, and we're selling off pieces of it.
So there is a buyer for the property?
For a piece on the western side.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you at liberty to say who?
It's KTRO Incorporated. It's been in front of the city council before. They had bought some property from Riley's, from the Riley family next to Marion Iron, and they developed some mini storage there. This area, they're planning on putting some multi-tenant, I think they call them contractor condos, commercial buildings for use by small businesses.
Oh,
will be going on this site.
Okay, but they aren't committed to any type of business per se going into those.
No, they're going to be open for tenants.
Okay, thank you.
Other discussion or questions? Okay, all those in favor of resolution number 25726, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes.
Your Honor, I move to approve ordinance 16-19, amending the Code of Ordinances regarding the election of Marion City Council members by ward. This is the initial consideration.
Second.
Thank you.
It has been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 16-19, amending the Code of Ordinances regarding the election of city council members by ward. Discussion?
Your Honor, would it be out of line to suspend the rules on this since the vote on that was so tremendously in favor of
I think we have to.
Yeah, and
Pass this ordinance,
this is a pretty unique case, but in a case like this, whether anybody from the public would object to the ordinance or not, it was approved by referendum, so the council will be adopting it.
I mean, we don't have a choice but to adopt this.
Well, the whole thing
so
is
you can. I'm saying.
doing it, adopting the whole thing
Yeah.
tonight rather than having another even another reading on it.
Yep.
Do you see any issue with that?
No, I don't see what recourse anybody has on something that's approved by referendum.
Yeah. So I mean,
So we can do it.
yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I move to suspend the rules and place ordinance 1619 for.
Could you take the vote on the
We need
initial?
to
Oh,
vote
I'm
on the
sorry.
initial.
We need to vote on the initial one first.
Oh.
So no discussion on.
Not in a hurry.
Let Paul do it down there.
Right. Sorry.
Okay, all those in favor of ordinance number 16-19, amending the Code of Ordinances regarding the election of city council members by ward, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
Your
Okay,
Honor, I
motion
move
passes.
to suspend the rules and place ordinance 1619 for final consideration.
Second?
It has been moved and seconded to suspend the rules and place ordinance number 16-19 for final consideration. Discussion? All those in favor of ordinance number 16-19, final consideration, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Okay, at this time we have mayoral appointments of Bob Calus
Close?
to the Nuisance Enforcement Property Maintenance Advisory Board for a term expiring on January 1st, 2020.
You vote separately on these?
We will. So do we need a motion to
Your Honor, I move to concur with your appointment.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of the appointment of Bob Calus to the Nuisance Enforcement Property Maintenance Advisory Board, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes. Next one is Tim Mooney to the Corridor Metropolitan Planning Organization Policy Board for a term expiring on December 31st, 2019.
Second?
Second.
You need to second.
Okay. Do we need motions to approve these, or?
You need a concurrence.
You can do them all on one motion.
I'm going to do that, Your Honor, on the next bunch.
Yeah.
Joe
But-
usually doesn't, so.
We will on the next bunch, but
Yeah, oh,
I second it on Mooney. Pardon me?
nobody made the motion. Or can I make? I guess I'm
recommendation.
making the motion.
well, you made the appointment.
Yeah. So Paul is seconding it. Okay. Discussion.
Your Honor, I am really opposed to this because I think it's a conflict of interest insofar as he does own property or will own property on that the corridor, the Sixth Avenue corridor. And I think this is not an appropriate person. I'm sure that whatever he does is legal. I just question the ethics involved with some of the past business practices he has accomplished.
Other discussion? All those in favor of appointing Tim Mooney to Corridor Metropolitan Planning Organization Policy Board signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no.
No?
We have one no. And the next one is a motion to amend the term and ending date for Phil Hirschner on the Local Options Sales Tax Committee from 12/31/2019 to 12/31/2018.
Second.
Okay. Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Okay. So,
Your Honor, I would like to move approval of the mayoral appointments A through U. And thank the folks for serving on this board.
Second.
okay, so we have a motion to approve the reappointments. These are people whose terms are ending but would like to be reappointed to their commissions and boards that they're serving on. Angie Pierce Jennings, Arts Council, Patrick Schmidt, Arts Council, Brenda Kowalski, Arts Council, Shirley Pantini, Civil Rights Commission, Brett Nillis, Civil Rights Commission, Dave Baumler, Civil Rights Commission, Renee Forsyth Christie, Civil Rights Commission, Richard Sundermeyer, Construction Code Review Board, John Bender, Corridor Metropolitan Planning Organization, John Bender, Corridor Metropolitan Planning Organization Executive Committee. Myself on the Corridor Planning Organization Policy Board. Pat Kloffenstein, Historic Preservation Committee. Ivan Gonzalez, Historic Preservation Committee. Dwight Hogan, Local Option Sales Tax Committee. Joe Skivor, Nuisance Enforcement Property Maintenance Advisory Board. Grant Hagan, Nuisance Enforcement Property Maintenance Advisory Board. Renee Gadela, Planning and Zoning Commission. Tom Padley, Public Service Board. Mark Morgan, Public Service Board. Colleen Prokop, Public Service Board. And Greg Hapgood, Water Board. By the way, he has served for 42 years, I think. Okay.
On the water board.
Discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, please say no. Okay, motion passes. Discussion?
Did good.
I think, doesn't Deb have something to share with us? The fire chief?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to share with the council. The fire department responded today to a semi that plunged into a pond. The driver was underwater. The whole cab was underwater. And our rescue team went out and we actually rescued the driver of that semi. So I just wanted to give my kudos to our staff. They did a remarkable job on a very cold day, went out into the water. And I want to thank the council and the city too for their support of our rescue teams. We had the wetsuits and we could go into the water and cut the door open to get him out. He is in ICU at this time, doing well from what I understand. So I just want to give a kudos to my guys on the fire department. They did an excellent job today in very extreme circumstances. And anyway, kudos to them, and I just wanted to say I'm proud to work beside them.
Thank you for sharing that. We're proud of you too, all of you.
Now, are you going to make an application or something for for life-saving awards to these people, maybe?
Yes, ma'am, I will. I will submit it to the state.
Very good, thank you.
Any other discussion items? Paul? Or you want to be last? Let's start here.
Oh, okay. First of all, welcome, Dave. I hope you don't realize that you've made a grievous error, but, you know, we'll see. I will try to bring you up properly. And farewell to little Donnie Hoskins. He and I started out in city council the same year, and he could only handle it for a year because then he applied to become the city attorney, the position that he's held until this year. So that's a long time.
All right, well, I just like to say I'm glad to be a part of the city council. I hope I can be considered as an asset to the city and what I can bring to the table here, and I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you, and hopefully we can make keep reaching higher in the city. So, but thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Welcome, Dave.
Thank you.
I want to remind Mary Lou that I was 1 when you first started up here. Just so you know.
Thanks so much.
So.
And you wonder why I mumble so much.
Welcome, David.
Thank you.
And congratulations to Fire. John Botkin, I got to see him at coffee in the morning and let him know that his lake was used last night. So, with Don Hoskins leaving today, I couldn't help but wonder about attorneys in Marion. And I got looking in the book, and I noticed in 1840, the first attorney in Marion was a fellow by the name of George Green. Now, keep in mind, if a town has one attorney, he's pretty poor. when they get the second attorney, they both end up wealthy.
End up wealthy.
Why are you looking at me?
Beyond that, I wanted to make note that in 1863, Jake Davis came to town as an attorney, and he served his first term as mayor in 1871, and he was elected 8 times to mayor of Marion, Iowa. And J.C. Davis officed at 610 10th Street, which is kind of an important address to me. That's where my former office is. And he had the first telephone in Lynn County, and he would make a issue out of going over across the corner and arguing the case in the then Lynn County Courthouse and telling them over there, have the boys at the police who had a telephone call me and tell me when the jury's in, and I'll come back. You know, he had the first phone. He also had the first automobile, which was a Stanley steamer, which he would bring out and fire up when the trains pulled in so people could see the future of transportation, which he wrecked in the creek out on 10th Street in the bridge. So that's all I have, other than one other item. We lost a former business person who was a good friend of mine this week, and Jim Roche. Those of you who might remember Price Electric and the hardware store and the electric company, that was Jim's business. So lost him at age 86 today.
Okay. Well, I also want to welcome Dave. Look forward to working with you and to seeing your contributions to the council and the city of Marion. I want to just comment on, we've had several long-term employees retiring, from the police chief to Don Hoskins today after 40 years. And last week I attended the retirement ceremony for Dave DeHoff in the public service department after 37 years. These are all long-time people with the city who have obviously had a great impact in that time period on the city. So I want to wish them all well and thank them for their service. Reaching higher recognition, the Christmas in the Park event was, as usual, really wonderful. Heard a lot of great comments and compliments from people. These things take a lot of volunteer efforts, and it takes a long time to plan for them and to get ready for them and to make sure that everything goes off well and that we all have a good experience. And those are the types of things that make people feel good about living in Marion. So if you see someone who volunteered for that event or any of those events that happen around town, please thank them and encourage them. We wouldn't have such a great quality of life without them and without people doing that kind of thing. The last thing I want to talk about is just want to encourage everyone, and then over the coming weeks, at the holidays especially, but really throughout the year, to think about our friends and neighbors who may need our help in enjoying the holidays. And so there's lots of opportunities to spread some cheer and to help out people who may need a little assistance. So I just encourage everyone in the community to do that over the next few years and throughout over the next few weeks and throughout the year. So thank you very much. Have a good evening. So I think the council members decided that the 24th and the 31st we will not have office hours at the library.
You want to announce who's going to be there this Saturday?
And Mary Lou is back. She'll be there this Saturday.